Hey guys, it is Chris with My Disney Addiction, your number one ghost host, and
Your Disney detective, Greg. How you doing, everybody?
what's up, guys? Hey, we are back. As you can tell, this is a little bit different than the last two episodes. A couple things about that. I did want to make an apology and just say sorry that the music volume versus the talking volume was a little bit out of whack there. Sounded better in my headphones, but when it got onto a regular speaker, kind of offshoot that, so that I will fix that for next time. So thank you for bearing with me. As you can also tell, we are in a Zoom meeting again. Just some things did not work out meeting wise for us, but we figured once again Zoom will be like, if anything else fails, we can at least get this done doing it this way. So we'd rather do this than not have any content coming out for you guys. Okay, so just wanted to apologize for that. I know, like, that new look, we really like the new look, the feel.
Oh, it's sleek. It's awesome.
But unfortunately, that just didn't work out to meet up this week. But like I said, we're coming out with some more content. So, guys, I had a pretty cool story. I kind of was talking to Greg about this. Me and Greg work together, so hold that thought. Cover that up so people don't know we're not branding.
He's getting ready for an epic story. You know when he's about to chug. Okay.
Okay.
Lay it on him, Chris. This is amazing, by the way.
I was working today.
It's Disney magic.
I was working today, and hopefully this person, I'm not going to say their name just for confidentiality reasons, because that would impinge on certain things with my job. But I was talking to this customer of mine, and it just so happens that we were talking things out, trying to come up with a game plan for what he wants to do with certain things that, I do with him and entails for my job. And it just so happens, he's like, "Are you Chris Welton from the My Disney Addiction podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Wow, we listen to you guys. Me and my family, we listen to you guys." And, he was saying that his, daughter works for Disney and all this stuff. So I was like, "Whoa." He's like, "Yeah, we've been listening to you guys." And so, fun story. I mean, he lives out in California. So, and we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, I mean, that's pretty far away. And it's super crazy that out of nowhere, that all of a sudden somebody was like, they've heard of us. And I found that out through the job. And I was like, what are the chances?
That's crazy.
So
amazing. And then, of course, Chris, right after he finds us out, he jumps on a phone call with me. He tells me, and I literally freaked out with him over the phone. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever heard and actually seen happen, because it's very fulfilling to know that there are people out there that really enjoy our show, that watch it, week to week. So to everyone who is another My Disney addict, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support, tuning in, and just giving us, the will to continue on, because we love sharing our passion for Disney, and we love hearing about it from you. And so, safe to say, that person made my day. Even though I didn't talk to them, it made my day. So thank you, whoever you are.
Yeah. So obviously I can't, obviously reveal his name or anything like that. I can just say, super nice guy. The only thing I can say is lives in California. That's as far as I'll get into that. But he was telling me about this one house that's out in California where this guy, you can look it up on YouTube, this guy has essentially Disneyland themed, miniaturized in his backyard. He was like, "Oh," he was like, "For a suggestion for one of your videos, you guys should review that and talk about it." So we might have to do that just for this fan here, because that was pretty sweet. I'm gonna have to message him tomorrow and be like, "Hey, we actually talked about you on the podcast. We didn't say any names or anything like that, but
tune in, spread the good word."
So that was really cool. That was like one of the highlights of doing this podcast, is just randomly out of nowhere, somebody found us. So that's really cool, you guys. Definitely. And if you guys, that's part of the thing too. If you guys message us, email, comment on YouTube, on anything that we present, let us know. We'll definitely shout your name out. If you want us to. If you don't want us to, we'll, allude to kind of the conversation that we had. But yeah, we just like getting Disney content out there for everybody. So it's good times.
Yes. Great.
All right, you guys. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a small conversation. We're really going to dig into an area of Disney that a lot of people have had, but I feel like not as many people have had this experience as other experiences. And what I'm talking about is specifically Disney Cruise Line. Now, Greg has been on the Disney Cruise Line multiple times, so it's gonna be more kind of me interviewing him. Oh, look at this, Disney Cruise Line with that little anchor there. That's amazing. And you froze, by the way, Greg. So that's what we're gonna look at doing, and then I've been on cruises. Me and my wife have been on cruises, so we're gonna probably talk and kind of interact and engage with that, and figure out kind of what the differences are between Disney and other cruise lines, and what differences there may not be. But so first things first, let's go ahead, Greg, and let's kind of talk about when did you go on your first Disney cruise?
Sure. And before we get started, this is a huge random side tangent here, but I'm looking at myself and how I look in the Zoom meeting. It's not the best of lighting, but this reminds me of the beginning of Superman, the movie, when the elders of Krypton are sort of like judging the criminals, send them off to the Phantom Zone. It sort of has that sort of vibe, like, yes, we are guilty. So there's my little inner non-Disney geekiness coming out. Superman, DC all the way. But anyway, the first time. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Greg. No, it's just kidding. I'm the Disney detective. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm the Disney detective. We'll always do this. Okay. So now steering back on track. First time I went on a cruise was in 2014. It was January, and let me tell you, winters in Milwaukee, Wisconsin definitely got me into the mood to just go someplace warm, someplace tropical. And I really have never been outside of the US before at that time. So I was really excited. Growing up, of course, we only went to the Disney parks every year. So I knew that this was going to be different. How different though, I wasn't sure, but I was really excited because it was something new. And of course it included Disney. So long-winded answer to your question, but January 2014.
Okay.
When was your first cruise? Even though, I mean, it's not going to be on a Disney Cruise Line, I know.
Actually, surprised. When did you go?
January 2014.
So yeah, my first cruise was June 2014. So
really?
Yep.
Wow, we were like 6 months apart. That's crazy. Okay. And which cruise line did you go on?
Well, me, my wife, and my family went on Carnival. We were on the Carnival Freedom for our first trip. And so, I mean, I really love Carnival. Okay. I think they're great. I know they sometimes get a bad rap, but I think they're good. I've never had a bad experience with Carnival. So, Greg, one of the things that, in hopefully not a bad way, one of the things that always happens whenever somebody talks about Disney Cruise Line is inevitably price comes up. Because I could do a, 4 or 5 day cruise with Carnival for about half the price or less. So, I mean, I know, so I guess like that's one thing. Do you feel overall, we'll get into some of the small details, but overall paying double whatever you could get on a different cruise line is worth it with the Disney Cruise Line?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was going to start off by saying that it comes down to quality over quantity. Granted, I'm very biased because I've only been on Disney cruises, but they do it right. They roll out the red carpet for you. You're treated like royalty. And I mean, granted, the price tag is a lot higher than other cruise lines on the market, but I think you pay for that Disney magic, that extra that Disney is willing to give their customers and their guests on the Disney Cruise Line. Now, I went on Disney Dream the first time, and I've been on 3 other Disney Dream cruises just because my family loves that boat. It has, I think it's one of the bigger ones. I know currently there are 4 Disney cruise boats out there, Disney's currently making 2 more in their German shipyards, and I know that the next one I think is called Disney Wish. I think that's the name of one of the newer cruise boats. So I'm excited to check that one out. And it's really nice because every boat has a different like character hanging on the bow. For Disney Dream, of course, it's Sorcerer Mickey with the magic broom, and they're sort of, you know, just hanging on there. I want to say that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just not even gonna, I guess, correlate them. But one has Dumbo, one has Goofy, and then the other one has...
Isn't it Donald Duck?
I think Donald Duck. I think you're right, yeah. And then the 5th one that's coming out is going to have Rapunzel.
I know the 5th one has Rapunzel because she's like kind of like sitting down by her hair and actually painting.
Her hair, exactly. Exactly.
Do you know what the other one is?
Yeah. See, I don't know if they've released any info on the 6th boat yet. If they have, hey guys, let us know. You know, shoot us something over social media. We want to know. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the whole price tag of it all, I think it's more than worth it because every time I went on, even though it was on the same boat for the same amount of time, I still had so much to look forward to do, and experience. And also, I guess you have to factor in like how long your cruise is. Are you going to go for a long weekend, like a 3 or 4 day one? Are you going to choose a longer one, close to a week or more? And Disney has a lot of different destinations. The one that I went on started off on Port Canaveral in Florida, and it went to Nassau, Bahamas, and then on their way back, they stopped at Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. And I know that, of course, Disney has other destination cruises out in Alaska, the Mediterranean. I think they're looking to do one on the west coast of California, and other like week-long cruises in the Gulf and in the Caribbean. So there's a whole lot that you can work on, and I think they're getting ready to do like a Norwegian cruise as well, like in the fjords. So that should be awesome. The food there is amazing. You're treated
okay,
like...
hold on. Because you're gonna jump to a lot of things that I haven't even started asking.
I know. I'm just like blabbering on and on. I just get so excited about this.
So let's talk about the food. Do you feel, because like on Carnival, there's different sections of the ship. For anybody who doesn't know, there's like a main dining hall that you can go to for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. One section has a buffet, another section has different sections for different types of eateries. There's small like cafes, there's different like bars there, different restaurants, and then there's like premium restaurants that you have to pay for that are not included in the ship. So like they're deluxe, essentially. Like, so like when we went, my parents took me and my wife, before we had kids, they took me, my wife, and my brother out to dinner at their very fancy steakhouse on the cruise line. And their food was really good. And so like there's another ship that just came out, I think it was like 2 years ago by Carnival. It's called the Carnival Vista. We really wanted to go on it. It looks amazing. And then the Royal Caribbean has Harmony of the Seas, Oasis of the Seas, Allures of the Seas, and if you know anything about those, they're called like that whole section. I think there's the newest one, which is called the Symphony of the Seas. That's the biggest cruise ship.
Ooh, I like that name.
They call them the city on the seas. Like these things are huge.
Wow.
I think they hold up to like 7,000 people. Like
really?
Like down the middle of the ship, there's a park.
Oh, I've seen pictures of that online. I'm like, is this for real? Am I being hoodwinked right now?
No, they're called the Oasis fleet. So Oasis of the Sea, Allure of the Sea, and then Symphony of the Sea.
Wow.
They're amazing. I want to go on one so
They
bad.
definitely brought it. You know what? I definitely skipped.
Okay, you froze on me again. What? You froze on us there, dude.
No. In my back? Okay, I said I definitely skip out. Oh no. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Try not to move as much.
Yeah, so I was saying that I definitely hold off on a Disney cruise. Oh, on that one.
He froze again.
Just to check out that park. That's insane. Oh no.
Okay, so now getting to it, like I thought the food on Carnival was great. The buffets were good. The dinners at the main dining hall were good. The breakfast was good. How do you feel the food at on the cruise ship did? And the reason why I'm asking is because I know there's a specific restaurant on the cruise ships with Disney where I forgot what it's called, but essentially like all the art comes to life, or like it's black and white, and then as the dinner moves forward, all the colors start coming into the pictures, and different parts of so it'll be like different scenes from The Lion King start coming into color or something like that.
Yeah, so that is actually called the Animator's Palette.
That's it, Animators. And I was like, I know Animators is in there, but I was thinking of like the Value Resort, Art of Animation. And I was like, it's not Art of Animation. That's not it.
You were close. So what happens is, yes, color does get imbued into the restaurant as you continue your dinner. And the cool thing is they also make it interactive. So the one that I went to, or the times that I've gone, they did an interactive thing with Crush. So he would come in on like the big screens, and he would like come up to one of the tables, and he would talk with them, joke around with them, and he'd swim around to each different screen, which I thought was pretty cool as you would eat your dinner. I think Animator's Palette, though, for me, it was, I think, more laid back than the other two restaurants. And I enjoyed Animator's Palette the most, not only because of that, but I also enjoyed their menu the best. So it's all inclusive, of course. You can just order anything off the menu. And one time I remember I joked to my servers. They're like, just get me all of the desserts. Like I was one of everything. They bring everything out to me, and I have a picture of myself. I'm like, am I gonna eat all this? And I did. It was gluttony to the max. I don't regret it. It was amazing. Oh, and the servers are insane. They are so awesome. The cool thing is they actually follow you to the restaurant throughout your stay. So they know your likes and dislikes. Yep. They build a rapport with you throughout the whole cruise, and they're just so much fun to interact with. They have such a good time. You can actually tell that they love doing what they do. And for me, that's a lot different than what you see from the quick service restaurants in the parks, and the quality of the food in the quick service stops on the parks. It pales in comparison to what even Disney Cruise Line has, like on their main deck. It's more of like a cafeteria style. The sandwiches they make are super fresh. They're hot. The pizza's amazing. The chicken, the fries, the frozen yogurt, the ice cream. I mean, everything on that ship just tastes so much better than any food found in the park.
I feel like cruises, man, you could gain so much weight from a cruise. It's insane.
Oh, yes, be so careful. And what doesn't help is that you're like sort of constrained in this boat. You can't really walk it off unless you do like circles and circles and circles around the deck. But yeah, totally.
So next question, kind of about going back to the food. Did you have any special dinners? Did you guys do any special dinners or anything like that at any of the specialty restaurants? Like there's Palo, there's another one.
Right.
There's another restaurant besides Palo.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot what it is, but I know Palo is like a special one.
Yes, you are right. We didn't do that one. We opted just for the rotating dinner.
I kind of figured your family would do that.
Guilty as charged. But yeah.
Don't worry, that means me and you just have to go on a cruise then.
Yes. There you go. It's destiny. It has to happen now. So, of course, Animator's Palette was one of the restaurants. The other one is called Enchanted Garden, and then the Royal Palace.
Yep.
Yep. So I touched upon a little bit on the theming of Animator's palette, and Chris also, brought in what he heard. For Enchanted Garden, it's like you're out in this Victorian style greenhouse. It's gorgeous, and all of the lamps are flowers, okay? And as the sun sets, they have a fake sun that actually sets. As the sun sets, the flowers close up, and you get like mood lighting.
That's awesome.
It is so cool. I know, it's so cool. And again, the servers have their own specific wardrobe for each of those restaurants. And that one is more of an open sort of atmosphere. Very, very cool. And they also have smellitzers, like smells coming at you of gardens, of flowers. So it's very fresh. And honestly, I didn't feel like I was on a cruise boat. They did such a good job, especially with the LED screen as the sun was setting. It's insane. And then finally, the other one, the Royal Palace. Now that's very posh. Just a lot of shiny, like gold, silver. It's just up to the max. It reminds me a lot of the Beast ballroom in Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very regal. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was pretty much done.
Oh, so you talked about the food.
Yeah.
Not quite as much of a description as I was hoping, but it's okay. We're gonna work on your food capabilities later.
Okay, good. I will be learning from the master.
So here's another one. So on Carnival, they have so much stuff to do. I mean, obviously they have the swimming, they have the casino. We'll get to that. Disney Cruise Line doesn't have casinos. They decided to take those off because they really wanted to make it a family-oriented cruise experience.
Even though they have some nice adult nightclubs.
Yep.
Which gets pumping.
And then, so I know they have different sections. They have different age. From what I heard, Disney does it best when it comes to the different age sections. So you have like very small children, like almost close to infants. Like sections, you have like, well, my daughter would be like 3 to 5, then like 6 to like 10, or like 8, and then 10 to like 14, and then like 15 to 18 section.
Yep.
So they have like tons of different sections. I've also heard like they have like a whole like stage for like doing acts and stuff, and Carnival has that same thing. And then they have different trivias on Carnival, so there might be like a Harry Potter trivia, which I lost that one, and I was pissed. I missed it by one question.
Come on. Oh.
The question was, how many staircases are there in Hogwarts? And I missed it.
How many are there?
112. So yeah, I missed it. I was kind of upset about that. But then they had Disney trivia on Carnival. They had like classic rock history on Carnival. They have libraries. They have game areas. They have obviously like the pools, hot tubs, the adult Serenity area. They have basketball courts and things like that. So one of the things that we did on our cruise, on both of the 2 of the cruises that we went on, we always closed down the piano bar. We love going to the piano bar at night and singing and getting rowdy with everybody. So we loved the piano bar. So tell me, because I've only seen videos and background talk, because like the main things they talk about, like with Disney Cruise Line, is all I hear is that they have the stage, because they essentially have like full, like almost Broadway type shows there, and it's a different Disney movie each night. And then I know that there's like the pools and stuff like that. So kind of give us a rundown, like not just like the big things, but like I said, those small things. There were tons of like quizzes and like trivia games that we had on there. There was tons of like food and galleries, like you can learn how to make this kind of drink. And so what kind of things, if I was an adult, granted I would take my kid and there's tons of stuff for kids to do, but as an adult, what things are there besides like the main big things everybody knows about? Like day to day, like do they have smaller things that they do?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll start with some of the bigger ones and then go smaller and smaller. So, to your point, they do have like a Broadway size stage where they put on, actually live action shows and plays. Every night they do this thing called the Golden Mickey, so it's a lot like rolling out to the red carpet on this premiere, and you get to see some characters in costume, things like that. So that is a lot of fun, but I really enjoyed more of the offshoot, like specialized plays and shows, and I forget the names of them, but one of them revolved around the villain. It was really cool, and I think like the main character was Hades, and basically he had this sort of like an evil thermometer, and he would go and then he would like rank the evilness of all of the other villains in Disney movies. So it's really cool to see that mashup. And then of course they had like Pain and Panic come out, and the guys that they cast for Pain and Panic were just rip-roaring funny. They were hilarious. They really did those characters proud. Again, I forget the name. Villainous? Something like that. I don't know. But I really enjoyed that one. And they, again, it's just Broadway-style plays every night, and they switched up. Of course, I've only been on a 4-day, 3-night cruise, so I'm sure, with the week-long one, they might get more variety of acts, or they might just double up. I'm not too sure. But anyway, they have a Broadway-style stage. Sort of moving on to, like, still a stage quality, they have a full-size movie theater, and then they just show some of the more recent Disney movies that have just come out. So I remember the first time that I went. Yeah.
Is it true? I'm not 100% sure when you guys went those couple of times. I actually heard that they even have movies that they show that may not even have been released yet in theaters.
Yeah.
we're not talking like 2 years in advance. We're talking more like the release date actually is like a week in advance. So it's like we're talking like a week or two difference. Right. So I think that might have been the case. Again, my memory gets a little dodgy since 2014 was 6 years ago. That's crazy. But I remember seeing Frozen in that theater. That was the first time I ever saw Frozen in theaters. It was on the Disney cruise. And then at the subsequent times, so all of the future cruises, I remember we saw Big Hero 6 there for the first time. We saw Moana there. We saw Star Wars The Last Jedi that I fell asleep in. Again, such a boring movie. Don't get me started on Disney Star Wars. I will go on for hours on that. Anyway, trying to rein me back in. We also saw, I think, Ant-Man and the Wasp there. So but to your point, I think they do have that nice perk where they release or they show movies that haven't been released yet in the States for a couple of weeks. So that's a really nice thing that they offer. I mean, again, you're paying through the nose for it, so why not just have a little perk? Well, I mean, technically you're in international waters too, so it's like they could release it somewhere else that's not in the U.S.
True.
So
very true there. Yeah. So we talked about the Broadway stage. We talked about the full-size theater. And then, going back. And so they have smaller little areas where they do a ton of trivia. They do trivia, every hour on the hour. So it was really cool. It's sort of like a scavenger hunt that my family and I did. We're like, okay, guys, like these are the trivia spots that we're going to hit up. And we've all the times that we went into trivia, we were like, if we didn't win, we were like runner-up or third or fourth place. Like we were always in the running, and those questions were really good, and you could tell that you were surrounded by other Disney fans. So it was just a great atmosphere, and the cast members or the cruise members, I guess, the shipmates that put it on, they were really entertaining, and you could tell that this wasn't just like another Disney college program staff event. Like they actually got legit workers, and you could see that in the customer service, in the quality, and just what they brought, just physically to their role. No matter if they were.
I gotta tell you this story real quick before I forget.
Yeah, go for it.
So on one of the cruises we went on, we were doing Harry Potter trivia. At the end of the trivia,
Mhm.
um, the host broke the news to us because he checked his phone. He was checking his phone or something like that. Because I guess technically there was like the host of the whole cruise, like the forgot what the word is called, but essentially like they're like the main
The maitre d'.
or commentator or something for like
Sure.
all the entertainment and stuff. So he came out and he came after like the person who was running the actual trivia thing. He came out and he was like, guys, this is huge news, but Alan Menken just died. So we were doing Harry Potter
What?
trivia the day Alan Menken died.
Oh my god!
Like everybody who was playing the game was like, what? So everybody was trying to get onto their phones if they had access to it and trying to look it up. So that was just sorry, you talked about trivia and that just sparked something in my brain.
Wait. Do you mean Alan Menken or Alan?
No, not Alan Menken. Oh my gosh. Not Alan Menken. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Snape. Oh my gosh. This is gonna bug me. I'm so dumb. How do I not know this? Not Alan Menken. Oh my gosh, come on. You're
Alan Rickman.
Rickman. Alan Rickman.
Rickman.
For crying out loud, Alan
Can you hear me?
Rickman. Why did I say Menken? Well, because I'm thinking Disney.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute. Because like, when you said that, I was like, hold on.
He's still
I don't think
alive.
Alan Menken died yet. Yeah. Oh yes, he's alive and kicking. He's still playing the piano. I was like, wait a minute. But then when you said Potter and how you connected it, I'm like, okay, it has to be like the Harry Potter star. And I remember when Alan Rickman died and made waves.
Yeah, Alan Rickman. Oh my gosh.
Alan
I'm sorry,
Rickman.
people. Come on. I think I know Harry Potter or Disney. I'll just leave. I quit. I suck.
This reminds me of the time when we were going through the cast for Avengers and you said Tom Holland instead of Tom Hiddleston. And
Oh,
we just,
yeah.
like, cracked up. Remember that?
I remember that.
Good
Oh man.
times. Good
It's,
times.
okay.
Chris
But they were.
pulling a Chris.
Oh, jeez. Okay, sorry. So go ahead. You were talking about the trivia.
Yes, the trivia. So, man, they know how to pick them. Like these, they're not just easy questions that anybody can pick up. And they range from like guess the Disney theme song trivia to movies, anything. And they even go into different themes. Like, just so you know, guys, like this isn't just like all Disney all the time. They also do different trivia, more for adults as well. It's like, name this popular TV show title sequence or theme song. So they go off the Disney bus every so often, and that's still a lot of fun. But again, you can find them anywhere and everywhere throughout the whole trip. They give you an itinerary when you go into your room that lets you know like when all the trivia times are, when all the events happen, and I'm sure that happens with every other cruise. But it really helps us, and for me, I love it. It's a dream because I love being structured. I love knowing when and where to be, and I love sort of planning that out. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the cruise because I can just see everything just in front of me, and I know exactly where it would be, when it's going to happen, and all I have to do is just make a decision to go. So, and getting a little bit more specific, I mean, I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 5 boys, so it's a 10-year age gap. And when we first got on the boat, we would look and check out different sections or clubs, for the ages. And since and Disney at least has the rule to where, once we shove off, that's when you have to abide by the age limit. So it's more of like a showing or like a show and tell open house for all of the different age groups, like clubs. And so I went with all my younger brothers to their spots, and I really could see just the difference and still the great quality that Disney provided all the different ages. And, I remember we went into more of the teenage one, like the young to middle teenage group, and they had a bunch of bean bags. They had,
Video games
all
and
these
stuff.
Exactly, video games, like these big just cushion circles that you can sit in, and all of the cast members there were, probably early college folk, but yet they were really chill, really cool, and you could tell that they're just getting ready for a really good time. So I enjoyed being able to go into the different age clubs just to get that sense of how different things are, and to see if it would be something cool for that age group to try to put myself back in time. But once we shoved off, of course, that's when I sort of focused on more of the adult ones, because in 2014 I was
You're frozen on me, dude.
21. It get into
Breaking up on me.
all right, how about now? Oh no. Oh, gotta love Zoom.
No, I think it's your computer, because I don't have that problem.
No, yeah, I mean you're fine, and I don't get why mine is. But in my back,
Yeah, you're back.
okay, so I won't move around too much this time. But anyway, in 2014, I was 20, turning 21, so I didn't make it to the adult clubs yet.
Yeah.
So when I came back from my subsequent cruise,
Froze on me again, dude.
so I could actually bring in.
Still
bring in
freezing.
just- well,
Are you using your phone or your laptop?
okay. Testing, 1, 2. No, this is my laptop, because in the past it's been completely fine with the laptop.
I wonder if it's just because of the lighting. It's
good?
having problems with the lighting.
I don't know if it's the lighting, honestly. Maybe it's just the place that I decided to put my computer this time.
But okay, try that one more time. You were 21.
Okay. Yeah, so I was 21 with when I came back to do my second, third, and fourth cruises, of course. So I was over that age, and it was really cool just to see that sort of aspect. They brought in live magicians, musicians, other acts, and they had a lot of games that couples could play, which was really cool. And I sort of like that nightlife, because once after you had dinner, you can chill, or you can just go out, and it's still a really fun, safe time. Because going out to the bars now is not as safe. I really enjoyed that inclusivity, to where you knew that you were safe, and you were still around people that respected that. So I really enjoyed that, and they had really cool theming for the clubs as well. One of them was like the Pink Elephant Bar, in what Disney movie was that? It was an oldie.
Dumbo.
Yes. So they had it completely themed like that, and you basically walk into a big pink bubble of champagne or whatever, and they just had some nice chill jazz lounge music in there. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I liked the cruise line, because there was this one bar. I think it was the Smooth Jazz Bar. You could actually smoke your cigars in there. So I'm a cigar smoker. I like cigars. I'm a cigar guy. So I would smoke my cigar in the jazz lounge area. So I like that a lot.
That's awesome.
So any other small details that you just want to hit on real quick about the entertainment or anything to do?
Honestly, it was just top notch. I have no complaints. I loved going everywhere. Every time I went there, I was just blown away. I enjoyed myself to the max. And also, just a nice side tangent is, of course, you get that nice perk of Disney's own private island. So Disney doesn't actually own it; they lease it for every century. So it's a 100-year lease. And so I forget what year they're on when I went last, but that's where they shot parts of Pirates of the Caribbean and Splash. So it's pretty cool.
So I think we're going to wrap up here today. We will definitely re-hit the idea of the Disney Cruise Line. There's still more to talk about. We could have a whole episode just on Castaway Cay. So we're going to hold off for now on anything else. It was a pleasure talking with you guys today, getting Greg to give you some of his feedback on the Disney Cruise Line, just maybe wet your whistle a little bit, make you guys want to take a Disney cruise. I don't care if you do a Disney cruise or not. Go on a cruise. Cruises are totally worth it. 100%.
Yeah.
I love them.
Definitely. You'll enjoy it. I mean, it's a nice change of pace from any other vacation that you go on. So definitely check it out. And always, let us know some of your favorite memories on Disney or non-Disney cruises. We'd love to hear them.
Exactly. All right, you guys. It has been a pleasure and a privilege talking with you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. And so that way you can be a part of anything. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And follow us there because we keep up to date more on what we're doing through those venues.
Yep. And don't forget, this is your only place to get your Disney fix.
Peace.